Now, I want to be clear. Isabel Fuhrman, who plays Esther, is 1 year younger than me. She's born in 1997. This film was out in 2009. So anyone who watched this when it first came out and it got to that point, naughty. Naughty, naughty. Naughty. Hello everyone and welcome to Rejected, where we either reject or rejoice in all things everything, and it's the second part of our 7 deadly rejects, and we're doing The Orphan. But when it comes to The Orphan, I haven't watched this in years. I actually really enjoyed it the first time I watched it, but I just haven't watched it in all these years. But I can explain why. This is one of those films you watch when you're staring at your film collection and say to yourself, there's fuck all there to watch, is there? Not saying that's a bad thing. It's good to expand on your variety and try new things. What I'm saying is, to you out there, if you're a little bit shy, maybe trying a few new things, just remember, if you get it drunk first, it's easier and you won't feel a thing. But Orphan is a special case. I've considered reviewing it a dozen times. And now that I am, let's do it right. Orphan from 2009 stars Vera Farmiga, however you pronounce it, I'm sorry. And Peter Sarsgaard, not Skarsgård. They have enough family members. But this is Sarsgaard, not Skarsgård, Sarsgaard. It's close. But I know a lot of people compare it to The Boy, and to be honest with you, when you look at the advertisement and the campaign for it, you can see why. And we've already covered The Boy, so covering this is just one more step for creepy little kids. Orphan is set around a family. After suffering the pain of a stillbirth, Kate and John Coleman decide to give adoption a go. Now that Kate has been able to manage her drinking problem, they decide to adopt a girl from Russia, who may just be the answer to their dreams, or their nightmares. So, let's get this shindig on the way. How does the film start? Oh god! Oh god!
What are you doing?
Oh god!
Feel some tugging.
Oh god!
It's a girl.
Oh god! It does catch you off guard. It does. I mean, is it necessary? But the demon baby doesn't look that good, to be honest. I hope there's not much CGI special effects in this. But that demon baby no. No. So we start to learn about the Coleman family. Kate is seeing a psychiatrist, married to John with 2 children, Daniel and Max, who is partly deaf. And as the film goes on, we learn about the troubles the family have gone through since the stillbirth. Mostly Kate's issues. It's always women. Anywho, her drinking led her to once take Max into the pond by the house and almost drown the pair of them. As you do. That's just what you do, isn't it? That's just what you do to your kids. But Kate and John are looking to adopt an older child. Not a toddler or a baby. Let's say a 9-year-old. And after putting it off, they finally decide to do it. They stumble upon Esther, sat quietly on her own. She's artistic and polite. Every parent's fantasy child. Train them up to be artistic. They start making bank. Basically what I'm saying is, you fuck them over like Gary Coleman got fucked over. And ironically, they're called Coleman. Destiny awaits. But they decide to adopt her almost immediately. It's as if they've just walked in there, gone, we like this one, we'll have her, and then that's it. There's no signing paperwork, that's it, take it, just take it, go, just go. I mean, It's almost as similar to when you go to a fancy ass restaurant and they say which lobster do you want, and you walk over to the tank and go, oh, that one. And that's a problem that this film does suffer with. A lot of time passes very, very quickly. But sometimes it's as if time doesn't pass at all, but just feels like it has. But now that Esther is home and she seems happy with Max, I mean, those two get on like a can of worms. But Danny isn't convinced. He actually starts being a bit resentful because she's getting the attention that he wants, especially from his father. Underlining issues there? Underlining issues? Maybe. I will say, I love at one point when Esther's walking down and says, oh, that's not really something you wear to school. What about the jeans? And she says,
You're afraid the other children will laugh at me, aren't you? I thought you said there wasn't anything wrong with being different.
And I think that's a brilliant thing to say. And because of that, I think the film works a lot more. They haven't tried to normalise her and she's just gone along with it to kill them to go on with. But actually, she's just been her. She's remained stagnant as, this is what I wear, this is what I look like, this is what I dress like. Back off, Mom! But Danny and his friends start picking on her, and so does a girl from school called Brenda. I wonder if Esther's a forgiving girl. Probably not. But at least she isn't your typically creepy little girl. Of course she is. I like her more than Annabelle. That's it. Okay. It's a bit of a swerve, but let me take you on this. I love Esther because she looks like this quiet little nice petite girl wearing the classic stuff. She looks very retro, she's very unique, but she's very evil. Annabelle in the films, it looks like a doll you would never buy anyone. It's just not. It's just not. And that's why I don't get it. I think if they went with Annabelle looking a bit more traditional, I know that's traditional, she just looks traditional. But even when you put Annabelle next to more traditional dolls, she still doesn't fit in. Whereas with Esther, she's still off, but she still has that unique retro look to her, and it looks great. Esther starts to learn more about her new family, including the rosebed where Jessica, the ex-baby's ashes, are they pronounced ex-babies? I don't know. I don't want to keep saying stillbirth. But I feel like if I say ex-baby, it sounds like ex-parent!
Well, I better replace it then.
But that's where the ashes were scattered in the rosebed, so that when the roses are still there and they grow, Jessica is still there with Kate. So when John suggests Esther do something to make Kate happy,
I picked these flowers just for you.
that shit's dark. Good. But news has just come in from Sister Abigail. Sister Abigail has found something out about Esther. Actually, it's more the opposite. She learns that Esther didn't come from the orphanage she was originally supposed to have come from, in Russia. And that Esther has a tradition of appearing pretty much in the wrong place at the wrong time. A lot of people have been hurt and or deaded. Lots of deaded. One thing I do love is as more trouble happens, John and Kate's relationship start to part ways. Obviously what Esther's doing, her plan is working. They're separating the parents, the mom's getting suspicious about her actions, but the father is all loved up. It's working, it's great, but they start to distance more. But with Kate, she's getting worried about Max and Danny being around Esther, whereas with John, he's actually more worried about how Kate is around Esther. I do like how the story continues to go and swerve between it, but with Sister Abigail coming to visit and Esther knowing that something might be up, something's got to be done about Sister Abigail. And now that Max has seen what Esther is capable of, Esther can now manipulate it to say, if you tell on me, I will hurt Mommy and Daddy, or I will get away and I love you and I'll look after you. And it's manipulation 101 at its best. It's fucking fantastic. But Danny also sees what they were doing. Obviously not the killing, but he sees them hiding the evidence, so now she can manipulate him. I mean, he does piss himself a bit, but now we see Esther is actually starting to lose it a little bit. She's starting to panic. Her plan's not going the way she expected it to be. If there is a plan. We haven't reached a twist yet. There's not a twist. There's no... Fuck! With Kate being pushed on that line of whether she's going to drink or not again, she chooses not to, but Esther, smart girl, finds the bottle and can use that
to her advantage.
Danny tries to get the proof from the treehouse.
He is there shouting his plan to his sister, who is deaf.
And he's going to go into the treehouse to get the evidence. Can anyone see where I'm...
What are you doing? Are you crazy?
Esther tries to burn him. Oh, God. It's great. Well, he did fall off, hit his head, but he is fine. Sure, she could try again.
Got a pulse. We got a pulse.
Jesus, Esther, you really can't kill this kid. Well, at least no one's suspicious about her activities.
What are you doing, you bitch?
Stop.
Kate's lost it. She's trying to get people to notice it, but in reality, what she's basically done in front of a lot of witnesses is just smack her adopted daughter in the face. That's not gonna work. That's just not gonna work. I mean, she was right. She did try to kill him, but no one else has seen that. They've just seen her walk around the corner with a can, and you're just gonna up and belted her in the face. It's brilliant. It's funny. It comes out of nowhere, and you're like, okay, it's been building up, but it's not a good plan on Kate's part. Seriously, no.
With Danny in hospital, Max in bed without her hearing aids, and Kate sedated back in the hospital as well. Esther, it's time to glow.
Get ready for everyone's favourite and my least favourite thing to happen in any of these films. Exposition. Just dumped straight on you. I actually think the boy did it way better.
Kate discovered in Esther's toy her old Bible. In it is photos of men. The book comes from the Scarner Institute, which is actually a mental hospital. She sends them a photo of Esther, hoping to know something, and they do. Esther is actually a 33-year-old woman called Lena Clammer, who's actually a rare form of dwarfism. So Kate rushes from the hospital home to try and save her family. Luckily, John is strong. John is a man. John has been able to hold this family together by being the glue to keep them all together, to keep them all in line. Oh, fuck's sake. Never mind, Esther isn't too happy when he doesn't go with her advances. Which leads me to explain Esther's plan. Esther's plan is to be adopted, break the family in half, seduce the father, and then live a happy life. When the fuck was that ever gonna work? I know she's insane. When the fuck was that ever gonna happen? When was that ever gonna work? I mean, if she got adopted by Jeffrey Epstein, maybe it would have worked. But... So yeah, John goes night night, night night. Max hides in a basket. Quite adorable. And Kate gets... Yeah. But she subtly subdues Esther. Very subtly. You wouldn't hardly know. At least the roses are already gone, so if she squished them, she'd have been more disappointed. Kate takes Max into the middle of a garden as sirens approach. This is where I'd like to go one way, but I have to review the film fully. So the ending. Esther charges them at knife point, her and Kate fall through the icy pond, and after trying to trick Kate, gets... Boy, boy. Now that ending is fine, it wraps it all up, it's all done. It's fine, it literally ends there. They walk away, it's done, finished. That's not the ending I like though. You see, after the subduing, Kate and Max run into the garden as the sirens approach, as normal. But in the alternate ending, Esther gets back upstairs and puts herself back together, standing at the top of the stairs as the police shine their flashlights towards her, still covered in cuts, but trying to be the little girl again. Now there is a reason why I like this one, more than the actual ending that they went with. Either she is that mad and that angry that she didn't get what she wanted again, that she's much happier being Esther arrested rather than Leanne Clammer, or Esther believes that she could actually get away with it and convince the police that she was more victim of her adopted mother's actions instead of the true evil we have witnessed. I mean, let's be honest, if you went with that ending, it wouldn't last long for Esther because, well, you got the brother who's still alive in the hospital, you've got the mom with the daughter
who's probably not going to be lying for Esther anymore after Esther was going to kill her. So you've got 3 people saying, this is the shit that happened. This isn't one of my most popular choices, but if someone was going to ask me about it, I would recommend it.
The story? I couldn't say it was one of a kind. I do like the twist, but it's almost that bait and switch, similar to Sleepaway Camp, or even The Boy. But I do like the story more, and I would give it a 3.5. For execution, I do enjoy it, but I do see why, as I said, it is a film I don't often choose. But it does hold up, except maybe that baby demon.
I will say, when she breaks her arm, that was gross, but I loved it because it looked great. And the ending, they went with the wrong ending for me, so it gets a 3, but a 6.5. I think that's the same. Yes, it is. It is the same as Misery. Oh boy. I'm liking these though. 2 positive reviews down, 5 more to go. I do love this time of year. But if I can ask for one thing, I wish we don't have to see more dopey ass faces when people are dead. Or even just dopey ass faces in horror films ever. I mean, look at Annie Wilkes' face when she died, and then you can look at Esther's face when she gets booted in the face. Both of them just look dopey. So I wonder what's next. Oh shit.